James, okay. But while the bridegroom is waiting to come and scoop us up, they say they're slumber and they kept. In other words, the wise people slumbering means standing before the face of God, seeking God for deliverance, seeking God for understanding, trying to get higher in Christ, trying to do all the right things, understanding that sin comes all around them, but they're fighting with everything they had to stay righteous. But the foolish are the ones that are saying, I understand that you're going to come one day, but I got a few more things I want to do this way. And then once I get that done, then I'll come back and I'll practice the same thing of the wise people are doing. And then it says at the midnight, there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom comes, go ye out and meet him. Now look at this, what happens. This is the most scariest part. Now you've been waiting all day long for him to appear, your prize and possession to appear, and now you got to do a check yourself. Am I clean enough? Do I got my good clothes on? Do I have some gift to give him? Do I have the right things to present to him? Can I present myself as spotless before him? Well, this says later on in this, it said there were those virgins across that trimmed the lamp. That means to cut back some of the wax. That's verse 7. Their time when it's needed to cut some attachments off when it come to Jesus the old way. In other words, what I'm saying is they had to trim some of the flame off the lantern so it'd be bright. See, and that's just like what God is saying to us. Sometimes we got to trim back some of the things that will keep us from walking upright and wise. We have to look at ourselves and say, what are those things that we keep letting it come in our life that keeps us straddling back and forth in the foolish, from the foolish to the wise to the foolish? What is that keeps us in the middle saying, okay, I know I can do better, but not yet? So when you realize that Jesus is near, you start evaluating yourself. That should be a daily thing for us, y'all saints. We should be looking at ourselves and saying every day we wake up, God, whatever I did last night that was not of you, whatever I thought about 5 minutes ago that's not of you, I need you to trim that away and let me stand spotless before you. The wise one do this, but the foolish don't. Because the foolish don't see their errors. The devil start tricking you enough that the sin that you do becomes the normal. It becomes normal. It becomes the way of living. If you curse every Monday you keep cursing, it becomes the normal thing for you. When you see Sheila, you say a curse word to her. That's the way y'all do it. Y'all been doing it for 17 years. It becomes a way of living. But when you get saved, that 17 years should stop. You shouldn't keep on cursing. Maybe you change the word instead of cursing her, you should bless her. But if you don't see that, you keep doing it, the devil got you tricked. So when God comes or when you get this revelation, now you find yourself in error and you don't know how to stop what you're doing. Then you go before God, well, you know I've been doing this for 17 years. And then you come with a scripture. It's like a thorn in my side, just like Paul said, and this is the thing that I got to deal with until the day I die. That's a lie. That's a lie. Why you give the devil so much credit? Why would you give him credit for something that you're doing? It's the devil that made me do it. Then stop lying on the devil. He's sitting there clapping. And you know what? He's probably in for a guy said, look how stupid they are. They're telling that it's me who done it. I wasn't even over there. Me and the boys were chilling over on this side. Look at him. Watch it. Here he go again. See, I'm talking about. There he go again, lying on me. But I take the credit. Because every time you give him credit, he builds a bigger imp on the other side to deal with you. Because he ain't got to worry about this one. Because he know every time you pray, you're going to give me credit, the devil, he's saying, for something that he ain't even doing. So when the time comes that you want deliverance, you got to imp way up in the heavens because you done built them that high. You've been building them. And then the time you want deliverance, God, please deliver me from sinning or drinking. And God said, what you talking about? You're doing it yourself. God, the devil just won't let me go. Now you used to drink. Now he's pouring on big bottles and all that because now you confess. Now he really going to work with you. But if you would ask God to trim some of those things away and then say it from your heart, God, I need to stop these things. And stop picking these things that you know are this big and you want it done tomorrow. Why don't you get the small ones first? The ones that you can see the gradual changing in. You go up here and say, okay, God, you know I got a gambling problem. You've been gambling for 48 years. And now you want to stop gambling today. I'm not saying God can't do that. But what about that lying spirit that you had there, that cursing spirit that you had. Them two, they're a little easier to deal with. How about God, help me deliver me from these two things, and then together we can fight this big thing. Not that I don't confess it, but I'm just saying, God, let's work on these things so I can see the changes and graduate. Now, I'm not saying limit God that he can't change all of them at one time. I'm not saying that, but just make sense on some things here. Y'all get your expectations too big, and when they don't happen, you say God failed you. Here's an example. God, I need a car. I need a car today. You said you were going to bless me with a car. God, you're not blessing me with a car. Now, somebody came and bought you a bicycle. Here. Oh, that's not the car. But don't that bicycle get you from point A to point B? But you can't ride that because it ain't the car. See that, God, that's what I'm talking about. You ain't providing a way for me. Didn't you just see the car? Here's an example. This joke I heard one time. A guy was telling me that he was in Cancun somewhere, and he was out there in the water, and his ship started to sink. And he said that he was praying to God. He said, God, look here. If you don't come get me, I'm going to drown. And he said, God said, just wait. I'm going to send you a helper. So the man said, okay. So he sat there. See, first came by was a tree, just floating by. He looked at the tree. Whew, man, don't look like that's sturdy enough. So he let the tree pass by. Next thing came by was a raft, 3 logs on it. Wasn't wrapped all together, but it came by. He said, man, that's going to fall apart soon. I put my weight on it. Then this guy came on a canoe, pushing by. 1-seater, little banana looking thing. He looked over at the man. He said, hey, like you're in a problem. God said, yeah. He said, well, I don't have much, but I believe if you lay in front of this canoe, we can make it back. The man said, no, I'm going to wait on God. He said he's going to send a messenger to pick me up. The man said, you sure you don't want to go? He said, nah, I want to go. So the guy who told the story wasn't the guy that was sinking, because the guy was sinking drowned. And when he got to heaven, he said, God, I thought you said you were going to come get me. He said, I did 3 times, but you denied me 3 times. And that's what we got to look at, believe it or not. God is always sending us way out, but it's not the way that we always picture it to be. And that's what gives us the biggest problem. God said, I'm going to bless you with a car. Take the hoopty if it comes. Take the bicycle if it comes. Because you never know. That bicycle may be traded in to get you the car that you want. Or it may break down right in front of a car dealer that you need to be at. You know, you're pedaling a bike and you get a flat tire right here. And somebody have mercy on your silly self. Say, man, why are you riding the bike, man? That's the only thing I got. Well, what if I could put you in the car? What if? Next thing you know, you walking out with a new car. Same thing with a house. You know, sometimes we got to stay in an apartment. I mean, it's what it is. But God said he's going to give you a house. You can just tell him like I tell him. I treat the apartment like it's my mansion. I do, honestly. Like my truck, poor thing, it's just having a fit. It's really tripping now. I mean, the muffler and everything's acting crazy. But I get in every morning, start it up, boom. I said, thank God for my Cadillac. Thank God for the Cadillac. Thank God for the Cadillac. I do. And the truck ain't moving nowhere. It be putting in everything. I said, okay, thank God for the Cadillac. I cut it off, go in the house. Why? Because I'm showing God, I know that I'm driving a Cadillac. It just appeared that I'm in the SUV, but I'm about to get my Cadillac. So as soon as I get the Cadillac, y'all gonna hear it. What I tell you, y'all gonna hear? Just bought a Cadillac, put them D's on it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna drive this thing, and I'm gonna drive it like it is. When I get my mansion, the same thing. When I walk in the house, I slam the door. Boom, I'm home. Boy, this is a beautiful mansion. It looked like a house, but to me, it's a mansion. I go to the bank account. I said, man, every time I go there, the lady laugh at me. Every time I say, what's my balance? She said, $50, $40, 40 cents. I said, wait a minute. My check ain't post yet? She said, what check? I said, $1 million post check. What you talking about? Because every time I go there, I'm expecting somebody to say, Mr. Johnson, it's arrived. Because that's the stupid faith that I had. God said it, so why wouldn't I expect it? I don't know how it's going to come, but I'm going to speak it. Okay, back to the thing, since y'all heard my little joke about waiting. Look at verse 8. And the foolish said unto them, give us your ore, for our lamp are gone out. See, now this is the part where I say I'm burned out. See, this is what happens. The devil tricks us so much that we believe that the only way we can survive is to have the same thing that everybody else has. See, because what they see, the whole story is about the lamp and the oil. But what if I don't need a lamp and I didn't need the oil? Maybe whoever needs to see me has enough light in their eyes, and when I post up, they're going to see me for who I actually am. Why I got to sit up here and be like the 5 wise men or 5 foolish? Why I just can't be me? I mean, come to him saying, I'm just as what I got. I don't have a lamp. I don't have a lantern. I don't have nothing. I just got me. And all I know is what me is. Me is